Maladjusted Misfits.
Come on, I just want to know, if the situation presented itself, would you have a threesome with me and Drew Barrymore?
We're the Maladjusted Misfits.
I'm Adam,
And I'm Joe.
and this is the one where we talk about friends.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you today?
Me, personally, I'm feeling much better after
Yeah.
you made me sick for the whole week.
You knew it was coming. We talked about it last week.
You and your COVIDs. No, I'm not.
wasn't.
I'm not spreading any rumors.
It's not COVID.
It was not COVIDs. I just call everything COVID nowadays.
It's just the flu. And you were down and out, but you're on the mend now.
Yes.
Now you'll just have this cough for the rest of your life. All right, what are we doing this week?
We're doing the one after the Super Bowl, part 2.
Part 2, episode 13 of season 2.
That's right.
All right, what is our IMDb plot?
Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Ross finds Marcel on the set of a new movie, where Chandler bumps into a former classmate. Meanwhile, Rachel and Monica compete for the affections of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
All right, our episode director was the one, the only, Michael Lembeck.
Michael Lembeck.
He's returning from last week.
Yes, he won an award for this episode.
That is right. But our episode writer, in addition to Jeff Astroff and Mike Sikowitz, was Michael Borkow.
Right, he did part 2.
That's right. He wrote 7 episodes of Friends from season 2 through 4.
Okay.
He also wrote episodes of Malcolm in the Middle,
Like
Joey, and the series Mom with Anna Faris.
Aw.
Which I think is cute because, you know, Mom with Anna Faris, and she was in Friends later in the series.
Right, but she's not a mom.
No.
She relinquished her momhood.
That's great. And according to what I know about the series, she's not a very good mom.
Oh. Well, what's her? Allison Janney's in that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep saying we're going to watch it. Maybe we will.
Well, yeah.
We keep saying we're going to watch it, and then we watch Friends.
Good point.
All right. When was our original air date?
All right. Well, like I said, it's the same air date because it was after the Super Bowl.
That's
so
right.
not a lot more trivia for the day. It's still January 28th. The 12th Sundance Film Festival ended on that day, and Welcome to the Dollhouse won the grand jury prize.
Ooh, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a weird one. While I was looking up Welcome to the Dollhouse, the girl, who's in Welcome to the Dollhouse,
Right.
is Heather Matarazzo.
Uh-huh.
Remember Gaten Matarazzo is the kid in Stranger Things.
Uh-huh.
Whose mom is Heather Matarazzo, but a different Heather Matarazzo.
Oh, you're kidding. Not the same one.
Not the same one. Same
my
name.
Gosh.
Different one.
Oh, that's so funny. Who was in Scream? Yeah?
Yeah. She was in
Okay.
Scream
3. All right. You ready for some trivia?
I am ready.
All right, I have a few. It was pretty funny this week.
Okay.
All right, so Jean-Claude Van Damme may have fallen into the category of who's more difficult to work with, him or the monkey.
Oh, no.
Yes, according to trivia, he was more than 3 to 4 hours late to set and asked for Cocoa Puffs before he would even start shooting.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and apparently he was also really gross when he kissed the girls. And it's not in the syndicated version, but it is in the DVD version that we watched.
Kisses are in the
Yeah. And he was pretty gross in that scene, apparently.
Nice.
So.
Or unnice, I should say.
All right. So, regular writer Jeff Astroff, which I told you, Jeff Astroff and Mike Sikowitz.
Right.
Jeff Astroff brought us the story of Chandler ending in his thong because it happened to him personally.
What?
It's based on a true story.
That scenario happened in real life.
Yes, apparently. They didn't go into too much detail, but apparently it happened to Jeff Astroff. And so you write what you know.
All right. Interesting. I have so many questions for Jeff if we ever meet.
Matthew Perry and Julia Roberts dated for a couple of years after they met filming on this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
This week I'll have to do something different for the coughs.
Yeah.
We'll have to throw in a different sound effect.
Maybe a kicking sound.
Oh,
The other production assistant that Julia Roberts' character is conversing with is her actual sister, Lisa Roberts Gillian.
Aw.
Yeah, that's her older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you told me that before we rewatched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it in the, lipple region.
The lipple region.
The-
And you said, it was so funny. He said, Julia Roberts, very cute. Her sister, very cute. Emma Roberts, her niece, very cute. Eric Roberts looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah, well, I don't understand the...
He got dropped on his head when he was a baby. All right, the man playing the director who Joey attempts to impress is real-life writer-creator David Crane, and the people standing around him are Marta Coffin and Kevin Bright.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
3 heavy hitters.
This is Marcel's last appearance! Yay!
Yay! But a good final showing for Marcel.
It was cute. Marcel was played by 2 female monkeys named Monkey and
Nice.
Katie. Katie also starred in the movie Outbreak.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
Oh.
Yeah. So she
She's
really was the monkey in it.
Reprising her role.
Yeah. It was pretty easy for her to come back and do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And then when Susie and Chandler are sitting on the curb, a poster for Chris Isaac can be seen stuck on the window. Chris Isaac appeared in last week's episode.
Yes.
So it was a cute little nod to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what were your episode reactions this week?
Okay, well, let's see. JCVD and Julia Roberts. Boys in the bathroom and an awesome girl fight. There's some big memorable moments in this one. A lot of fun to be had. 4 cups of espresso and a sleepless night rating for me.
Okay.
How about you, Joe?
I like this mainly because a cute little argument between Monica and Rachel. I think that little fight is so funny.
Yeah.
And that it continues after. Like, they fight, they go, okay, and then they come back and fight some more.
Right.
Yeah. Julia Roberts is cute, but 20 years, of course, that's a long time to hold a grudge. But...
Right. Well, I mean, I can't say I haven't held grudges for that long.
True. And I wasn't called Susie Underpants, so
Yeah.
I don't know how that
Yeah.
would feel. So.
I don't know if I would do an elaborate setup where I'm making out with the person beforehand, before
Right.
getting my revenge,
Right.
but whatever.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Right. She probably never thought she'd run into him again, so.
Yeah.
All right, favorite line. There was a few, and I wrote a few down.
Yes, there's a lot of good ones.
So I like when Phoebe is yelling at Monica and Rachel when they're fighting, and she goes, "Look at your purse. Look at your sweater. Look at yourselves."
That whole fight is
It's just so cute.
yeah, and again, it's a
Two-parter.
two ring bout. It's pretty funny.
It is.
My favorite line. Again, like you, I bounced around a lot, but I'm gonna end with Joey. Someone's flossing.
That was pretty funny. I'm going to try and cough when you cough. That way you won't have to edit too many out. All right. Favorite moments. I like when they're in the bathroom and Joey comes in whistling and then Chandler answers and he goes, "Ma?"
Ma? Yeah. I'm going to go with the bathroom also. But I'm going to go with when Ross comes in and sees Joey standing on the toilet looking over into the next stall. And he's like, Joey, most people don't like that.
People don't like when you do that. All right, favorite outfit. There weren't a ton this week. It was kind of blah. It was really weird. Like they were going out on dates with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and all you saw them in was their coat.
Right, it was winter and...
Yeah, and they just walked around the set. That was their date.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But I did think Monica's gray little Argyle sweater and white t-shirt and jeans was cute, so I like that.
I did like a couple outfits. Julia Roberts looks cute.
Yeah.
We'll get to the problems I had with with that when we get there.
Right.
So I went with my fun ironic. I'm going to go with Chandler's bathroom stall door and unseen pink thong.
Yes, it was funny.
Even though you don't get to see it, it's talked about quite a bit.
Yes.
And him walking with that door is going to be my favorite outfit.
All right, themes we explored in this episode.
Yes.
Theme 1, revenge 20 years later.
Dun, dun, dun. Theme 2, will your monkey remember you, and should you care?
Theme 3, dating Jean-Claude Van Damme. Why you shouldn't.
And theme 4, giving someone your coat if they are naked.
Yeah, come on. It was a simple thing.
A lot of layers those guys had on.
I know, right? Sweaters, t-shirts, jackets. All right, we're going to take a quick break before we break down the episode.
Say you're sorry.
Say it. No. Say it. Say it. I'm not going to say it.
Great.
Oh.
Rachel, say you're sorry or your sweater gets it.
Okay. That is my favorite sweater. That is my third date sweater.
Say you're sorry.
Okay, you want to play? Okay, let's play. Let's play.
What are you going to do?
Give me back my sweater or it's handbag marinara.
You don't have the guts.
Oh, yeah? At least I wasn't too chicken to tell some guy I thought he was cute.
Oh, all right. Stop the madness. This is crazy. Who can remember why you started fighting in the first place?
She went out with Jean-Claude Van Damme. You know, I liked him, and she didn't even know who he was. She never even saw Sunday after all time out.
Yes, that's right. But still, look at your purse. Look at your sweater. Look at yourselves. We are back.
We're back.
We're back with the cold open. We're on the back lot a lot this week.
Mm-hmm.
The New York City Street Outbreak 2 set.
Yes.
All 6 of our friends. The friends enter the lot and the security guard is pushing everyone back. Close set, everyone. Joey says, we know we're friends with the monkey. And the security guard just goes, oh, and lets them through.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. So Ross greets Marcel and shows him he brought his favorite toy, which he kept.
Yes.
What is with the Gellers and keeping their pets' toys? It's like, these toys are not expensive, people. Anyhow, he brought him Harry Elefante, which I think is a funny, cute name.
Yes.
And Marcel tells him what he can do with his old elephant toy.
Oh, my God.
He throws it straight on the ground. And Joey goes, dude, burn.
Wicked burn, man.
And Ross says he doesn't get it. He was so excited to see him yesterday.
That was yesterday, man.
And the handler says not to take it personally. He's under a lot of pressure starring in a movie and all. Mm-hmm. And Rachel says, how big of a star is Marcel in human terms? And the guy goes, in human terms, I'd say he's Sybil Shepherd. Ooh.
Nice.
They are all impressed. So Chandler turns around and sees guys in full hazmat suits and asks if they're in the movie or just really paranoid. And they are not amused.
No. Nobody on the set has any sort of sense of humor.
No, it's like, come on, you guys. So Julia Roberts' sister, Kathy, comes over and says Jerry wants to know if the monkey is ready. Mm-hmm. And Joey asks if Jerry is the director and says, which one is he? And she is also not amused and says, the guy in the director's chair.
Come on, man.
So he asks Phoebe to walk with him, and she asks why she's walking with him. And he says they're going over to get away from the
horrible flesh-eating virus.
He acts while shaking Phoebe. For the love of God, woman, listen to me. The director and everyone around him, which is David Crane, Marta Kaufman, and Kevin Bright.
The three amigos.
He asks if they're looking, and she says, uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't offer him the role right there.
I know. They all look.
He was very good.
He was.
All right, so then we're still on the back lot.
Mm-hmm.
New York City Street, outbreaks at 2. Susie Moss, Julie Roberts, and soon to be Chandler. Julie Roberts, as Susie, runs from the Showbiz trailer, announcing they have a problem to Kathy, who says, tell me. She cannot do Chris's makeup because she refuses to acknowledge her mustache. If she can't bleach it, Van Damme is going to be making out with Gabe Kaplan. And Gabe Kaplan is the guy who played Mr. Carter and will also be referenced again in next week's episode.
So I thought it was funny. It was part of the trivia. In this dubbed Spanish, and Italian versions of this episode, Susie says Burt Reynolds instead of Gabe Kaplan.
Oh.
Because Burt Reynolds' mustache is better known in Spain and Italy than Kaplan. And in German, it's dubbed Clark Gable.
Oh.
Because they don't know who the hell Mr. Cotter is.
Right. But Kathy says she'll talk to her. I like that they never say who's starring in the movie.
Yeah,
They just say Chris.
Chris, yeah.
But she says she'll talk to her. And Susie Moss says she hates actors. And then she glances over to Chandler. And Chandler is hanging out amongst movie extras dressed as soldiers. And he tells one of them, "Nice camouflage, man. For a second, I almost didn't see you." But Susie says, "Excuse me," to Chandler and makes him jump. And then asks if he's Chandler, Chandler Bing. He says, "Do you know me, or are you just really good at this game?" And she introduces herself, Susie Moss, 4th grade, glasses. I carried a box of animal crackers around with me like a purse. And Chandler's like, "Oh yeah, Susie Moss, good job growing up." And she congratulates him on not wearing the denim cap with the little mirrors on it anymore. I kind of remember those. Do you remember those?
I do.
I never had one,
No.
but I was one of the few kids at my school who didn't break dance either. So Chandler says once he graduated from the 4th grade, he realized he wasn't a pip. And then Susie pulls out the real reason she remembers him. "Remember the class play when you pulled my skirt up and the entire auditorium saw my underpants?" And Chandler laughs and says, "Oh, well, back then I used to use humor as a defense mechanism. Thank God I don't do that anymore." How do you not just say, "I'm sorry"?
Right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Shit, did I?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
There was a cut scene on the DVD where Susie goes, "What have you been doing since childhood?" And Chandler goes, "Well, I got a new belt." And she goes, "I wondered."
I wondered.
So we're still in the back lot, New York City Street, Outbreak 2 set. Monica, Rachel, and some Van Damme something.
Jean-Luc Van Damme. Oh.
So Monica and Rachel are walking around the set, and Monica pulls Rachel into an alley and says, "Oh my God, it's Jean-Luc Van Damme. I didn't know he was in this movie. He is so hot." And Rachel looks confused, as she should be, and says, "You think?"
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I don't see it. And Monica says, "The muscles from Brussels? Wham, bam, Van Damme?" I would have, at this point, been on the floor laughing. But Mon keeps going. "Did you not see Time Cop?"
Nope.
Rach says, "No. Was he any good in it?" And Mon says, "Rach, he like totally changed time."
Oh, but let's see what Rotten Tomatoes has to say. At a 42% critic score and a lower audience score at 36%.
Wow.
It does not come off very well. The late Gene Siskel reviewed, saying Van Damme is compelling only when he takes his clothes off.
Damn.
Not the best review, and
what's
says a
going
little
on?
too much about Siskel,
Right?
I think.
Like, geez, Siskel, what's going on with you and Van Damme? All right, so she goes, "So go over and talk to him." And Mon says, "Oh, yeah." Like we used to say in the 90s, like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
If you say it now, you get strange looks when you go, "Yeah."
Like, whatever.
But anyhow, Rachel says, "So go tell him you think he's cute. What's the worst could it happen?"
He could hear me.
I love that too. So Rachel goes, "Okay, I'm doing it for you." She goes, "No, don't. Don't you dare. Don't tell him. Tell him I cook."
Aw.
So Rachel walks over to blah blah Van Damme and says, "Excuse me. Hi, this is going to sound kind of goofy, but my friend over there, who cooks by the way, says she thinks you're cute." And he mumbles, "So you don't think I'm cute?"
Spot on.
And Rachel laughs and says, "I don't know. Do you think you're cute?" My guess is I think he does think he's cute. But they think they're getting off track, and she says she's supposed to come over here and tell her that her friend thinks he's cute. So what should I tell her? And he says that she can tell her that he thinks her friend is cute. And Rach laughs and playfully hits him on the shoulder.
I feel like this is what you would do to me if you went to tell Courtney Cox I thought she was cute. So then we're at, again, the back lot.
Yes.
Outbreak 2 set. Do you want to do the cut scene?
Oh, yeah.
Before
So
the...
we open up on the cut scene.
Yeah.
So Chandler and Susie Moss are sitting on the curb, but instead it goes right to Chandler going, Steve Hers was the guy who would eat anything for money. David Stein was the guy with no elbows. And Susie goes, so who got caught masturbating?
Oh, can I do this part?
Yes.
And then Chandler gets defensive and says, that's not what he was doing. He was looking for his bus money.
Susie looks at him like, oh.
You're the masturbator.
Behind the Taco Bell. It was a Wendy's.
Susie and Chandler are sitting on the curb, still flirting. And some dude yells, makeup. And Susie is like, that's me, gotta go. And then she asks how many times she has to touch him on the arm before he will ask her on a date. And Chandler is kind of cool in this moment. And he goes, let's say one more. And she looks him in the eye, touches him on the arm, and he goes, say Ernie's, 8 o'clock. And then she tells him she'll be there. And if things go well, maybe she'll get to see his underwear.
Ooh.
And he is in shock by her tone and what she said, and she walks away, and he freaks out that no one is around to hear that. And I feel for Chandler, because I've only been aggressively hit on like that once. But it's why we're in LA, and he was a lovely black man with long dreads, but not really my type. But he was like, hi! I was like, whoa!
So we're back still in the back lot, New York City Street, Outbreak Set 2, Monica, Rachel, and Van Damme. Rachel makes her way back to Monica. Monica asks her what he said, and she says, what a jerk. I kept talking about you, and he kept asking me out. Naturally, Rachel said no, and Monica's disappointed and says, well, thanks anyway. And Rachel says he kept asking and asking and asking and asking and asking and asking.
And I didn't want to say yes.
And Monica says, Rach, if you want to go out with him, you can, but he sounds like a big jerk to me. But Rach doesn't hesitate and says, Jean-Pierre, she said, yes, I'll see you tonight. Thumbs up.
Oh, his thumbs up is so weird and awkward. I want to make it a meme, but for something that sucks. You would like Twitter, I had to work all weekend. And then that Jean-Claude Van Damme, thumbs up. Diarrhea's back. Thumbs up.
It is so cheesy the way he thumbs up. So Rachel thanks Monica, whose mouth is just agape at what just happened to her. It is. Like, you can totally tell by the way she said.
Right. Again, I would be so upset if you went over to get me a date with Courtney Cox. And then you went out on a date with Courtney Cox, I would be like, well, now I'm shocked and appalled.
That's not what I asked you to do.
We're finally at Central Perk. Phoebe, Rachel, Joey, and Monica. Rachel is regaling her night with Jean Reno. And she says, then Dammers took me to a crossroads, and that's where we hung out with Drew Barrymore. And Joey says, Drew is so smoking. She's got the greatest set of... And then he kind of looks around and, sees Monica and Rachel and, no Van Damme. So he's like, oh, no guys, huh? And Rachel asks if they need anything because she's at work. And Monica orders an espresso, but then says, never mind, I'll get it myself. Because if I ask you, you might drink it. And she's like, that's really unfair. And Phoebe agrees, adding... like you drink her coffee after what you did with her to Van Halen. And then Ross comes out from taking a shit or something. I didn't even know he was at the coffee house. And he tells Joey that he is canceling the racquetball tonight because Marcel's trainer called while he was in the potty. And he could take him for a couple hours. And Joey's mad that Ross is blowing him off for a monkey. They'll lose their positioning for the racquetball tournament, I guess. I
know, he gets so pissed off about not playing racquetball. It's like they play racquetball all the time or something.
Yeah, right. So Ross says they can reschedule for Saturday. And Joey's like, if you don't blow me off for some pigeons. And then Chandler runs in. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. And Phoebe's like, stick a fork what? And Chandler explains, like when you're cooking a steak. And Phoebe replies, well, I don't eat meat. And he's like, well, you are familiar with the invention of a steak. And never mind, I'm not going to do the whole thing. But instead, Chandler asks, how do you know when vegetables are done? And she goes, well, you don't. You just eat them, and you can tell. That's not entirely
True. No.
accurate, but she's not the chef. So. And then he goes, okay, then eat me. I'm done.
That was almost your favorite
That
line.
was almost my favorite line. And he finally gets to announce that he met the perfect woman. Aww. He explains that they were sitting on the couch fooling around, and she asks, you ever want to do it in an elevator? And Joey's like, nice. And Monica asks what he told her. He's like, my exact words were, flagrant.
He turns into Professor Flink. What's his name?
Yeah, Professor Frink.
Yeah, Professor Frink.
But I like that you said when Joey dresses up for him as
he goes,
on Halloween, he goes, but then he says, I don't know what to say. How do you know if you want to do it in an elevator? And Phoebe tells him, you just know. Oh, Phoebe.
So then we go to Chandler and Joey's apartment. It's Chandler and Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Chandler and Susie slowly rise up from making out on the couch.
Nice.
And Susie says, we got to go. We got reservations in 30 minutes. Chandler says, no. What I have planned shouldn't take more than 2-3 minutes tops. I guess he's not planning on being there for her at all.
Oh.
Susie says, 200 seconds of passion. Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, see, this is when I think she's getting tired of making out with him.
Right.
She's like, I just want to get on to the
nakedness part,
Yeah.
yes. But then she says she has an idea. She asks him if he's ever worn women's underwear.
Uh-oh.
Chandler's it and says, once, but there were Xanendas, and there were 3 of us in there.
Ooh.
And Susie says it would be kind of sexy if he wore her underwear. He goes, you want me to wear your panties? Could you? Chandler asks, what would she wear? And she just raises her eyebrows suggestively.
Yeah.
She'd be going commando.
Ooh, Susie no underpants.
Chandler goes, you're swell.
Oh, Chandler. She's just roping you in, man.
Yep.
Ross's apartment is the location of the next scene. That's where we're going. Ross and Joey are there. Ross draws Joey's attention to the cake that he made for Marcel, his favorite, banana. Then he waits for Joey to lean in and smell before adding, with mealworm. I think that was deliberate on Ross's part.
100%.
And then Ross begins lighting candles for a special night with Marcel. And then to get back for the mealworm cake thing, Joey goes, candles. What do you think's going to happen here tonight?
I think it's weird that Ross set a plate for himself. What was he going to eat?
He knows Marcel hates to eat alone, so he's going to have some of the mealworm cake.
Ew.
Then the phone rings. Ross starts to ask to the person on the phone. He starts to ask if you're on your way. And then he pauses and it's like, oh, yeah, sad voice. Monkey's got to work. No big deal. It's not like I had a special day planned. Okay, bye. And then he blows out the candle. Racquetball, anyone?
There was a cut scene on the DVD, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Joey reaches over and holds Ross's hand and says,
Right.
I'm sorry, man. He doesn't let go for a beat. And then he goes, you feel that? Ross goes, what? He goes, the moment we passed where I should have stopped holding your hand.
They're ready to take a nap together now.
All right, so now we're in Monica and Rachel's apartment. Phoebe, Monica, and Rachel. It's obvious Monica and Rachel are mad. They're sitting facing away from each other. And Phoebe is standing between them and asks Rachel to start talking first. And Rachel starts and says she feels it's totally unjustified. She gave me the green light, and I did nothing. While in the background, Monica is mimicking her, and Rachel sees her reflection in the TV. Do you think I cannot see you in the TV set?
Busted.
Phoebe says, okay, Monica, if there's something that you would like to share, and Monica interrupts and says, you had no right to go out with him. Rach jumps up and says, that's the most ridiculous. Mon shouts, you sold me out. Okay, so Adam, based on the tone of the voice Monica used in the conversation, do you think she was honestly giving her blessing to go out with the weenie from Torini?
No. As I say to you often, I feel like when the words and the tone don't match, it's best to err on the side of no.
Yes.
Terms like okay and fine with certain affectations do not mean okay or fine.
I know.
Which is why sometimes when I'm like, is it okay if I watch Hannibal? And you're like, fine. I'm like, is it really okay?
So they shout back and forth, and Rachel flicks Monica on the forehead. Would you let me talk? And then Monica says, did you just flick me? And Rachel says, you wouldn't let me finish. And she flicks her back. And then they get into a flicking match, which turns into an arm flapping, pushing, shoving onto the couch. Meanwhile, Phoebe is shouting, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
Whoa. Wait.
What?
Are we just going to skip past the flicking thing? I think the listeners need to hear about the flicking argument we used to have that this episode helped us solve.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
Oh, I think it is. I think that's exactly what the listeners want. So,
oh my God.
In our history, I flicked Joe once.
Not on the forehead.
Not in the forehead. But I flicked her, and then
I said, don't pluck me.
Don't pluck me. And
Pluck.
And I was like, what? What did you just say?
That's what we used to say at my house. Plucking.
And I was like, this is flicking. And I flicked her. And I was like, plucking is you pluck feathers out of a chicken.
I don't know why we called it plucking, but we did.
And you were like, no, it's
plucking.
And every time I flicked her or she flicked me, she would be like, plucking. And then we were watching this episode one time, and I went, ha! This is your show. They call it flicking. It's flicking.
I don't know why, because flicking makes way more sense. Because you're flicking your fingers.
Right.
All right.
Because you're flicking somewhere.
All right. That's more information than they cared to know.
It was just one of those dumb arguments.
I know. It was
that would
so
just
funny.
Pop up once a year. And then when this episode happened, it got put to rest. I was right.
You were vindicated. So Monica pulls Rachel off the couch by her feet and starts hitting her with her sock. I love that part.
Yeah.
Then Phoebe yells, now I'm going to kick some ass, and grabs both of them by their ears and says she will let go when they both stop.
Mm-hmm.
So they're ow, 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 ow. And Rachel says, you want me to stop seeing him? Is that what you want? Monica says, yeah. And Rachel says, you want me to call him and say that you're going to see him instead? Okay.
Her okay.
I know.
So fucking funny. I don't know why. Okay.
So that's what you want. Yes. They both say, fine. Phoebe lets go.
I understand Monica's reason for being upset. But this is the unrealistic Geller madness playing out, right?
I wouldn't want to go out with him after he went out with her.
Well, would you want Rachel to be like, I know we had a date,
right?
But my friend's going to go out with you because I was asking you out for her.
Yeah, no.
No, it's too weird.
So Phoebe says, there we go. If we were in prison, you guys would be like my bitches. That was almost my favorite one.
Another good candidate for best line.
Yes.
A lot of good ones. Then we're at Marcel's restaurant.
Yeah, it's called Marcel's. Isn't that funny?
That's weird.
Yeah, it's on the menu.
Ross, Joey, Kathy, Susie, and Chandler. Ross is the third wheel on the double date, and he thanks them for allowing him to tag along, because
his date with Marcel didn't pan out.
Yeah. And now he's at Marcel's. That's just sticking the knife in.
Right?
I want the beginning of the scene when they explain to the women that his monkey plans fell through. And then the women are like exchanging looks because they're like, the monkey's not shitting tonight.
The trainer's just like, the monkey don't want to see you.
Chandler's acting like his panties are riding up. Susie even asks, how you doing there, squirmy? And he confesses, hanging in and a little out.
That was almost my favorite line too.
And her face here really clues you into the nefarious intentions that she has. But Joey, on a date with Lisa Roberts, asks, an assistant to the director, huh? You must have all kinds of cool responsibilities. To which she responds, I have nothing to do with casting.
So, what are you guys going to eat?
Joey just moves on. Then Susie Moss questions Chandler, why all I can think about is putting that ice in my mouth and licking you all over. Chandler theorizes because he went to an all-boys high school and God is making up for it. And she says that she wants him right here, right now. And he wonders if this is kind of a public, and then she touches him under the table, and he goes, plants. And everyone looks at him, and he plays it off by saying, they do have the shrimp. Susie tells him to meet her in the bathroom, and she leaves the table while roughly grabbing his hair. And Chandler, in a slightly enthusiastic tone, says, I'm going to the bathroom now.
And there was a cut line on the DVD where Ross says, he likes to keep us in the loop.
So then we're in the men's room, as the pair are engaged in la flagrante delicto. And this is where I learned something about myself. You see, Julia Roberts, the very attractive star of the silver screen, is barefoot in that men's room, and that grosses me out in a way I never could have guessed. I do not like it. I'm like, why are you in your bare feet in that men's room?
I know.
It is so gross.
The only thing I could think of is that she would be taller than him with her shoes on.
Right, with her heels on.
Yeah,
She
so
might.
They should have just put flats on her. That's the only reason I could think of is that she had heels on.
Right. I try to focus on the him wearing girls' underwear thing, and my mind just keeps going, dirty bathroom. She's got no shoes on. No. So, spoiler alert. Susie Moss is now moving into the last stages of her revenge against Chandler Bing. That's right, listeners. It's all been an elaborate ruse. Susie breaks their kiss and beckons Chandler into the men's room stall. But she shuts the door and says, okay, mister, let's see those panties. And the camera shot we get is their feet facing each other in the men's room stall. She's barefoot. And I wish they would have just made the set a little bit nicer. Make it a super clean bathroom.
Yeah, like a fancy
right.
bathroom. And
Tile
then
floors.
Yeah. This is gross green linoleum.
Yeah, the floor is distractingly gross. And Chandler says, alrighty. And then as you see his pants hit the floor, and Julia's footwork is like an audition for a Tarantino movie.
Because he's notoriously got a foot fetish.
Yeah. She suggests it would be sexier if you didn't have your shirt tucked into the panties.
That was almost my favorite line, too.
And then she sits on the toilet and tells him that she wants to see him in nothing but the panties and orders him to undress. Okay, fucking red flags all over the place. I brought it up that I could be talked into this in my 20s. Should I have been male impaired? Male impaired is what I call it when a male is not getting enough blood to his brain because it's being allocated to different parts of his body. However, no way am I ever stripping down to women's underwear in a public place. It can only end badly.
Plus, I would have been keeping track of my clothes the whole time.
Right.
In fact, I don't even think I would have put my pants on the floor. I would have, draped them over the bathroom door stall.
Right. Exactly. Again, it's hard to focus on the panty thing.
Right.
If Julia Roberts asked me to wear underwear, I'm not sure I would say no. Not in the bathroom.
Right.
Not any of this other stuff. So if you want to call me Julia. So he's taking off his clothes and she is throwing him out of the stall. She kicks his shoes away. She tells him to hurry up because her plan is coming to a close. And Chandler's like, do you want this done quick or do you want it done right? Not a great foreplay line. He still has his socks on? Why? Why would you strip down to a pink thong but keep your black socks on? Men, am I right? She asks to see him from behind, and she says someone has been doing his Buns of Steel video as she sneaks out of the stall. And Chandler asks if she wants him to clench anything. And Susie is now busy collecting all of his clothes off the floor. He is calling her name, unsure of what's happening, and Susie says,
"This is for the 4th grade."
And then Chandler leans under the stall door in a weird, with his arm on the floor. Looking at, he could have just opened. He could have just opened the door.
Where's his legs?
Up on the toilet. And he's like, "What do you mean?" But Susie, her plan is out. She can no longer control her rage. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? You lifted Kids laughing, scarred for life. I was Susie Underpants until I was 18 years old. Chandler points out that was in the 4th grade. How could she still be upset?
And Susie calmly says, well, why don't you give me a call in 20 years and tell me if you're still upset about this?
But Chandler yells that she's not getting these underpants back. And then he realizes the extent of his current predicament.
So we're back on the New York City Street Outbreak 2 set. Monica and Jean-Claude. Monica said she cannot believe it. 2 weeks ago, she was watching Sudden Death, and now I'm on a date with Jean-Claude Van Houten. She starts asking him if he can beat up each guy they pass on the set.
Okay, so Sudden Death.
Yeah.
Another Van Damme movie. 50% critic rating.
Ooh, ouch.
39% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ow. Usually, critic ratings are low, but audience ratings are higher.
Yeah.
He says, sure. Monica says she's surprised he'd agreed to go out on a blind date. He tells her he would not do it. And Monica, in a flirty voice, asks him what made him make the exception this time. And he said Rachel told him she was dying to have a threesome with him and Drew Barrymore. And he goes, Drew has some ground rules. Jump cut to Monica's apartment. Monica and Rachel hitting each other. And Monica shouting, say you're sorry!
No!
So running around the kitchen table, stop and hit each other, Monica grabs Rachel's sweater and says, say you're sorry or your sweater gets it! And she has a loose yarn and is threatening to pull.
Uh-oh.
And Rachel says, okay, that is my favorite sweater. That is my 3rd date sweater. That's your 3rd date sweater? Really?
3rd date.
Okay. I'm going to skip over that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Rachel, bouncing up and down, says, okay, you want to play? Let's play. Give me back my sweater or it's handbag marinara. Phoebe in the middle again is just watching. Monica says, you don't have the guts. And Rachel says, oh yeah? Well, at least I wasn't too chicken to tell some guy I thought he was cute.
Uh-oh.
Monica pulls the yarn. Rachel pours the marinara. Monica pulls. Rachel pours. Pulls, pours, pulls, pours, pulls, pours. Phoebe yells, all right, stop the madness. This is crazy. Who can even remember why you were fighting in the first place? Yes, that's right. But still, look at your purse. Look at your sweater. Look at yourselves.
Oh.
Monica says she'll help Rach fix her sweater. Rach says she'll help Mon throw out her purse. Mon says she's sorry she made him stop seeing her. And Rach says she's sorry she went out with him when she knew she liked him. And Monica clinches it by saying she's sorry she borrowed Rachel's gloves, now covered in marinara.
I'm sorry I borrowed your gloves. I kind of like that part too. So then we're back to Marcel's bathroom again. Mm-hmm. Joey, Chandler, and eventually Ross. Joey comes into El Baño, goes to the urinal and begins whistling Buffalo Gals, Why Don't You Come Out Tonight? I have no idea why I know what that song is.
I know the name of the song because that's what they were singing, and It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh.
Buffalo Girls, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out
Wonderful.
tonight?
I haven't seen that in a minute, though.
I looked it up. It was written by Cool White in 1844.
They had DJs in 1844?
Apparently.
Well, thanks, Joe.
No problem.
So Chandler whistles the next verse, and Chandler goes, Joey? And Joey goes, Ma? And again, like we said earlier, it makes me think that his ma whistles while she's cooking and doing other chores. And
I thought it was so cute.
It's just that was a little fun detail.
Yeah.
Joey's like, I thought you took off with Susie. And Chandler informs Joey that she took off with my clothes. Joey asks if he's naked.
Not exactly.
And under the stall, we can see Perry's feet doing a little shy, timid little drawing moment with his toes as he confesses,
I'm wearing panties.
And Joey goes, you always wear panties? And I like that he's not judgmental. He's just kind of curious. And then he can't get over the bad luck. The first time Chandler tries to wear his panties, somebody walks off with his clothes. And then Chandler's like, no.
It was all part of Susie's diabolical plot.
Then Joey wants to see. Me, I'm good. Joe, Chandler and panties?
Yeah, I'd go peek.
You go sneaky peek? But Chandler doesn't want anyone to see ever. I feel like you would just flush them if you didn't want to get caught in them.
You'd rather be naked?
Well, I don't know. I don't know which would be better. Talking to the police naked or talking to the police in a pink thong? We could make a pros con list, but Rachel would get mad at us. Anyway, Joey doesn't wait outside the door. He goes to the next stall, steps up on the toilet, and takes a peek at Chandler. Whoa, someone's flossing. And that's when Ross comes in, goes to the sink and sees Joey in the mirror peeking over the stall beside him. And he reacts by saying, Joey, some people don't like that. And Joey announces, Chandler's wearing panties.
What? Let me see.
And Chandler begs no. But Ross is already in the next stall in the toilet and looking down. Hi, Tushy. Then Chandler pops up. And I love the shot of all three of them standing above the stalls. That's a wonderful comic moment. Chandler asks for one of their underpants. Joey says he's not wearing any.
And Chandler chides him, how can you not be wearing any underwear?
Oh, I'm getting heat from the guy in the hot pink thong.
And then Chandler offers Ross $50 for his underpants as a random person walks into the bathroom. And they all turn to the man and say, hey. And then they do a double take, realizing what they've all been caught doing. Then they go back to the dining area where Kathy is still sitting out on her lonesome. And I'm kind of sad for a second that Susie didn't let her friend in on the plot.
Yeah. Just left her there in the restaurant with two other guys.
Anyway, so Ross and Joey come out and they sit down. And Chandler walks out holding the stall door to cover his shame from the audience, at least.
Right. The other people on the other side can totally see.
He clears his throat and raises his hand, indicating to the maitre d' to open the door. And then he leaves into the New York City streets, where hopefully he had a short walk home instead of a subway ride.
Yeah, seriously.
We have, you and me, Joe, have often talked about the layers that Ross and Joey have on and how they could have helped their friend. But in the end, this way he learns a more valuable lesson. Never relinquish your clothes.
Somebody says take off your clothes. You say no.
No. If you want to do it in the bathroom, I'm just unzipping.
Oh, gross. So now we're at Central Perk. Ross, Phoebe, and Chandler. Phoebe is pouring milk into her coffee, and Chandler says, Phoebes, can I have the milk after you? And she says, I'm almost done with it. Keep your panties on.
Woo.
Joey bursts in and says, and I'm in the movie.
Yay.
They are all excited for him and explains that a virus victim calls in sick, and Kathy recommended him, and boom, he's dying on a gurney. Joey informs Ross that Marcel just finished his last scene, and if he wants to go, say goodbye. Ross, woe is me, says that's okay. He probably has a threesome lined up with Drew Barrymore or something. Sorry, Drew.
Oh, Drew's a sweetie. Leave her alone.
He says he's moved on. That's the way it goes. And then you hear the little tap, tap, tapping of Marcel's paws on the window. He came to see Rossi all the way from the set. And Phoebe says, oh my God. Then Barry Manilow's Looks Like We Made It starts playing. Before I break down this little montage, listen to the first few lines of the lyrics of this song and explain why they thought this was the song for the Ross Marcel reunion.
Okay.
There you are, looking just the same as you did the last time I touched you.
Accurate.
And here I am, close to getting tangled up inside the thought of you.
Sounds like Ross.
Do you love him as much as I love her? And will that song be strong when old feelings start to stir?
Aww.
Looks like we made it. Left each other on the way to another love. Looks like we made it. Or I thought so till today, until you were there, everywhere. And all I could taste was the love, the way we made it. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Sounds sexual.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound unsexual.
I was like, okay. Anyhow, there's a montage of Ross and Marcel as they go around town laughing at the newsstand, leaving monkey raisins in a stranger's hat, posing for a photo in front of the Monkey Shine poster, and then sharing an ice cream cone.
Yeah, again, I think it's them making fun of the Ross Marcel thing the way we do.
Right.
Ross is unstable, and he has great affection for this monkey.
And he makes cake and lights candles.
Right.
All right, then there's a cutscene with Grossman Van Damme.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, I'm sorry it didn't work out between us, to Rachel, and then to Monica.
Right, who are both standing there.
Right. And he says Drew was very disappointed, to Monica. And then he kisses Rachel goodbye.
Right.
And then he kisses Monica goodbye. And then he kisses them each again and then asks them if they want a threesome, to which they both go, no, 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 no. And he says, are you sure? I can crush a walnut with my butt. They reassure him, and Monica says, maybe if I were baking. That's so gross. A walnut with your butt?
I don't want to eat that, Monica.
No. That's worse
Somebody else might want to eat that.
That's worse than Macklin. All right. Then Marcel gets in a limo because Ross gets him in the limo and there's a cut line. And Ross says, you keep people drinking that beer.
Keep drinking that beer.
And he leaves because the animal stars, they obviously ride in limos.
Yes.
Yes.
So that, animals do. Yeah.
As they're
Checks
walking away, Phoebe says she wants to write a song about all this. And then she says, except one of her strings on the guitar broke.
Oh, no.
Chandler, can I borrow your G string?
Oh.
Chandler asks how long she's been waiting to say that. She jumps up and down and says, about 20 minutes.
All right. And then we're back for the stinger. We're back on the Outbreak 2 set. Mm-hmm. They are shooting a scene for Outbreak 2, Outbreaking. Joey Tribbs is all made up like a virus victim, or me last week. As Van Helsing tries word acting, saying, can't you see what's going on here? This man is dying. And Joey bad acting groans. But I think it goes with San Dimas's reading. You know?
Yeah.
He's not doing that great either.
Right.
So take 2. Can't you see what's going on here? This man's dying. Take 3. Can't you see what's going on here? This man's dying. Bad groan, and then Joey grabs Jean jacket and says, Mommy. And he smacks the dying handsman away.
I get a real Jean-Claude vibe from this take.
I didn't say anybody fucking touch me. So take 4. Can't you see what's going on here? This man's dead. And then they cover up Joey. And the director's now thinking of how he can kill off Jean Reno. And that's the end of the episode.
Cut and print. All right, we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. In New York City, a lonely, mentally unstable man.
You really didn't know she was a lesbian?
She's pregnant with my baby.
You kissed my mom.
Nana died twice.
There's lots of things Carol never did before I came along. Along.
A man who thinks the rules don't apply to him. He's an exotic pet. I'm not supposed to have him in the city.
I called animal control.
You called animal control? He unleashed an infected monkey on an unsuspecting populace. That's when the army brought in Jean-Claude Van Damme to kick the hell out of the virus. Can't you see what's going on here? This man's dying!
No shit, Sherlock. That's why we have the hazmat suits on. Go do a split somewhere. Outbreak 2. Outbreaking. All right, we're back.
We're wrapping this up.
That's right. What did we learn from this episode? I don't know that I didn't already know this, but I learned that I did not like Jean-Claude Van Damme. I did not think I would have cared to fight over him. And I'm disappointed in Joey and Ross. They could have done better by Chan. And Susie needs to learn to let things slide. What did you learn?
I learned that bare feet in the bathroom are a turnoff for me. And hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. For example, see Chandler, Monica's purse, Rachel's sweater, and gloves.
All right, what are your final thoughts for the episode?
One of the guys could have spared a sports coat. Come on.
I know, seriously. And I kind of want to hear what Drew's ground rules were.
Hey.
All right, what was our sweater vest tracker for this episode?
Well, the prior count was 1.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yep.
And this one was 0.
Oh.
You thought you might have spied one.
I
But
did.
we rolled it out.
Yep. So overall, we're still at 1.
Oh, still at 1.
Yay.
The IMDb rating for this episode is 8.6 out of 10, with 6,200 ratings, which is pretty good.
That's a lot. Okay, I'm going to read you one of the reviews. This person gave it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
It's called I Know I'm Getting Old.
I know. Okay.
And it's by Hans Stenzel, June 17th, 2022.
Okay.
So it says, I know I'm getting old, ...
Mm-hmm.
but I love it. Today, after watching Top Gun Maverick, I came home and started watching this episode.
Okay.
It brings back memories, the 90s, JCVD, Outbreak, and the young Julia Roberts. Man, life is so good. And, of course, Top Gun in the 80s.
Okay.
I just loved it. It had nothing to do with the episode.
Nothing to do with the 90s, 80s, whatever. I'm fucking drunk. That was a fun one.
That was fun. What do we have coming next week, Adam?
The one with the prom video.
Oh, that's right. We might have a special audio guest.
Ooh.
Yes, to make it up to Michael M.
Michael M. Here's how you can remember, okay?
Yeah, okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Michael M. Maladjusted Misfits.
Maladjusted Misfits. MM. Okay. He is going to send us some audio clips of his thoughts on next week's episode.
Nice.
Yes. So I'm excited to get those. And tell us about the episode next week.
Okay. Well, this is one of the favorite episodes
Yes.
of all time.
Yes.
Monica attempts to ask her parents for money since she's unemployed. Joey gets Chandler a Goodfellas bracelet. And then there's something with a prom video and lobsters. I forget.
It's a good episode. It'll be fun.
It will be fun.
Yeah. So, besides getting sick this week, what happened?
Maladjusted moments. What did happen? I don't remember a lot from the week.
Because you were hopped up on NyQuil?
Yeah. We watched Die Hard with a Vengeance yesterday.
That's right. You were in a good mood and you were laughing your ass off.
I was. I love Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yes.
It's a fun one.
I was in the kitchen and you were in the family room and you said, name this movie in one note.
Right. Dun, dun.
And I got it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, and we watched Abigail.
Yes, we got the new movie Abigail.
Yes.
The horror film I talked you into watching with me.
Yes. Well, because I liked the movie that the guy did.
Right. You like Ready or Not.
Yeah.
Which the directors did before.
Right.
And,
Samara Weaving was in that one.
and then you like, what's his name?
Dan Stevens.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
What was that show he was on?
He was in Downton Abbey.
Yeah. And I've liked everything he's done since.
Right. He was in Legion, and he was in The Guest, the movie The Guest.
The Guest is awesome.
Yeah.
And
he was in this movie, Abigail.
yeah. And Abigail, it's funny. It's a funny horror film. It's super gory.
Oh yeah. So is Ready or Not.
Yeah. So,
but they're not like uber scary. I don't know. They're fun like The Babysitter was gross and over the top.
Right.
Bloody, but funny.
Right. Lots of bodies, a lot of people exploding and things like that. And
but funny because you're like, that's disgusting.
Right.
So that was fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed Abigail quite a bit. And like I said, we always enjoy the Die Hard movies, except, not the last one.
But we're Bruce Willis fans.
Yeah.
So. But yeah. So yeah, that was fun. And Adam's getting on the mend and we're still coughing and we apologize.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week it'll be a lot better.
Yes. Hope not as many kicks in the audio next week. Waka!
Oh, that's whipped.
Wapa! I'll do that every time.
All right, you guys, if you'd like your thoughts or reactions regarding future episodes to be shared with the rest of the class, or you just want to reach out and say hey,
come on. We want to hear from more of you misfits out there.
Email us at themaladjustedmisfits@gmail.com. Rate us and leave positive comments.
And if you have a negative comment, why don't you try leaving it in a positive way?
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow the links in the show notes. The pages are called The One Where We Talk About Friends.
Joe, you ready for a cup of coffee?
Always. I'm going to the bathroom now.